Hi, I'm Jake from TradeLab.ai, and in this video, we're going to be setting up the CryptoGraph Trend Algo strategy. So to get started, the first thing we're going to do is go to Community Strategies, and if you scroll down, we'll find the CryptoGraph Trend template. Go ahead and click on that, and then you'll click on Copy. You'll hit Yes, and that will copy the CryptoGraph Trend template to my strategy. So here we can see it. You might also see it in a view like this. This is the default view. You can change that view by clicking these buttons up here. Okay. So I can press the edit button right here for CryptoGraph Trend template, and that will open up the strategy builder, and that will start the strategy setup. It tells us that we have to follow one step to set up our alert. So we'll click do it now. And it'll ask us to select our exchange. If you haven't set an exchange up, you can do so in the settings screen on the left. And then we'll select our market mode, either contract or spot, and then select our symbol. So I'll select BTC USDT. Okay, we'll click continue. And we'll see the alert instructions. This is the one alert that we have to set up. So we'll click on this. And here it shows us the alert instructions. It tells us to create a new TradingView alert and use the settings below. So if we go over to TradingView, I already have my CryptoGraph Trend Algo indicator and my CryptoGraph Trend Algo strategy. And so now what I want to do is set up an alert. So I'll go over and click the Create Alert button on the Alerts panel. And in the condition, we want to select the CryptoGraph Trend strategy. So we want to select the strategy, not the indicator. Okay, we're going to put the alert on the strategy. We're only going to create one alert. That's all we need. And you know that you've selected the correct strategy because if you select the indicator, it'll show all these extra options. Okay, so if you select the strategy, this is all it shows. And next thing is to look at our expiration time. If you have a premium account, you can make this open-ended, but if you don't, make sure you put a notification on your phone or whatever to remind you to come back in here and extend this. If this does expire, your alerts won't send and your bot won't run. Okay, so that's important. So then we'll go back to TradeLab and we'll click on the webhook URL. That will go ahead and copy and we'll paste that in. And now we'll go back to TradeLab again. We'll click on the name. We'll paste that into the alert name field. And then we'll click on the message and we'll clear out this message down here and paste in our message. Okay. We'll click create. And that's going to go ahead and set up the TradeLab CryptoGraph trend alert right there. So if we go back to TradeLab and hit back, then we'll click all done. And now we're finished setting up the alerts for CryptoGraph. So the last thing we need to do is decide how much we want to trade and set up our trade settings. So we'll see the trade settings on the right, and we can see the amount right here. So amount type and trade amount. So right now I have it at 50 USD. That will trade $50 every time. If I wanted to change that to percentage, I could say 5%, and that will trade 5% of my available balance each trade. That means if I make a profit this trade with my 5%, my wallet balance will go up, and the next trade, 5% will be a little bit more. So it's compounding my profit and loss. Okay. You can also set up your leverage right here. Put in your leverage, and you can change the leverage type between isolated and cross. You can also set your order type, so it can either be a market or a limit. If you do select limit, you can set a limit timeout. So by default, this is 1 minute. So this is hours, minutes, and seconds. So the idea is if I selected limit, it would place the order and try to fill. If the limit order did not fill or partially fill within 1 minute, then we'll go ahead and cancel the limit order and it'll go back to looking for entry. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as market. All right, and that's all we need to do to set up the trend strategy. You don't need to mess with any of these rules. These are all set up for you. If you do need more information about the trade settings, we do have a video on that. As far as your TPSL goes, all you need to do is set up the TPSL in the CryptoGraph strategy, and we'll take care of everything for you here. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and hit save, and we'll hit exit. And now we can see our CryptoGraph trend template is searching and it's looking for entry. That means it's running and it's ready to go. So now usually we would just wait for an alert to come in from TradingView. However, if we want to test this out and make sure that it works, we can send a test alert from TradeLab. So if we click the edit button, we'll go back to the strategy builder and we can click on the alerts tab right here, and we'll see the alert that we set up earlier. If we click on the send test alert button, so the way test alerts work, we need to fill out all of this information for our test alert. Normally this would be filled by TradingView. However, since we're sending it, we need to send it ourselves. So here we can see the type and market position. This is what's going to determine if we're doing a long or a short and if we're entering or exiting. So the market position is if we're doing long or short. So if I do a long and I want to do a buy, that would be a long entry. Okay, if I wanted to do a long and a sell, that would be a long exit. If I wanted to do a short and a sell, that would be a short entry. And if I wanted to do a short and a buy, that would be a short exit. Okay, I'm going to do a long entry. And because I'm doing a long, I'm going to fill out all of the long stop loss and take profits. Okay, so here for my BTC, it's at 18,700. So for my long stop, I'm going to put 18,000. And for my long take, I'll put 19,000. And I'll do another one for 19,100. And another one for 19,200. Okay, so now I have all of my take profits and stop losses set up. I got my symbol. I'm doing a long buy. And I'll go ahead and check this box. It says place real orders. This is going to place an order on the exchange. If you leave this unchecked, it will run through and test everything, but it won't place a real order. Okay, so we'll hit send alert. And here we will see the alert that just got sent. So we can see the alert on the right side. And on the left side, we can see our rule history. And we can see our CryptoGraph trend template went ahead and placed an order. It says long enter success, and we just saw a order place right there, that notification. So here we can see our rules ran, the conditions ran, and we can see that the actions placed. Okay, so we can see all the numbers that happened. So this gives you an idea of what the bot is doing at any given time, right? To be able to look at the rule history and see what each rule did. Okay, so now we'll go over to the My Strategies free, and we'll see that the CryptoGraph trend template is now in an open law and it's looking for exit. If we wanted to exit this, we could hit close trade now and it would place an exit immediately. We can also hit the edit button. If we go back in and hit the send test alert again, and we'll go ahead and change this to sell. So we'll do a long sell. That'll go ahead and exit the long. When we're exiting, we don't have to type in any of our stops and takes because we're exiting. Okay, we'll place a real order and hit send test alert. Okay, once again, we can see the raw alerts on the right side, and you can see the trend template. Our trade went ahead and closed in the notification here. And here you'll notice that the trend template ran its exit. So TradeLab actually has two different modes, an entry and an exit. So when we're not in a trade, it runs the blue rules. And when we are in a trade, it runs the orange rules. So you can actually separate your logic depending on if you're in a trade or out of a trade. So this time, instead of running the entry rules, we ran the exit rules, and we can see the long exit ran, it succeeded, and it went ahead and placed the order. So if we go back to my strategies, we can see that the CryptoGraph trend template is now searching and it's looking for its next entry. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and wrap up the setup for the CryptoGraph trend template. If you have any more questions, you can contact me via this help button. You can create a support ticket by clicking on this. It'll send me an email and I'll email you back. You can also join us on Discord. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching and have a good one.